Technonauts is a podcast that deep dives into digital transformation, startups, and technology. Hosted by AI hosts Ted and Samantha, Technonauts helps startup founders and mid-sized business owners navigate the world of technopreneurship. This episode of Technonauts is brought to you by Steer, a construction management software that helps you be in control of your project's progress and costs and protect your project's profitability. For more information about Steer, visit www.steerplatform.com. That's STEER platform.com. Episode 4: How to Fix Inefficiencies in Construction Projects.
Ever started a home renovation and felt like you're, pouring money into a black hole? Timelines disappear faster than, a contractor's hourly rate, right? It's like construction projects are practically famous for being inefficient.
Yeah, it's a common pain point for sure.
So today, we're diving into this article by Steer, addressing inefficiencies in construction projects to, really dissect these budget-busting bottlenecks. And get this, they've actually narrowed it down to the top 5 culprits. Ready to put on our construction detective hats?
Absolutely. Let's crack this case.
Okay, so public enemy number 1, poor planning and coordination. Imagine this. You're ordering a gourmet pizza, right? But the delivery guy shows up with, just the toppings and the dough. Not even in the oven yet.
Oh, I can see where this is going.
That's what happens when you've got a kitchen remodel where appliances show up before the plumbing's even done. The article really stresses how crucial, meticulous upfront planning is.
It's amazing how often that gets overlooked, though. What's fascinating is that this lack of planning, it's not just one thing. It kind of, it ripples outwards. It's like a game of Jenga. You pull the wrong piece at the start, and suddenly the whole tower's at risk.
Oh, the domino effect in full force. And you know what else causes those dominoes to fall? Inadequate communication, our next offender. Think back to playing telephone as a kid. The message at the end, never what you started with. Now swap those whispers for blueprints, material orders, and a whole orchestra of subcontractors.
Recipe for disaster.
Total disaster. Even small misunderstandings can snowball into massive, costly errors, as the article points out.
Yeah, and it's not just about those misunderstandings. It's about the sheer amount of time wasted trying to clarify things. Think about how many phone calls, emails, site visits could be avoided with, a more streamlined system.
Oh, it adds up, for sure. Okay, now imagine this. A crew of skilled workers just standing around twiddling their thumbs. Why? Because the materials haven't arrived or the instructions are clear as mud. That's labor inefficiencies in a nutshell.
It's like having a Formula One car stuck in first gear.
Totally. Wasted potential, blown budgets, morale plummeting. The article really drives home how much this impacts both timelines and, those precious project funds.
And this is where those initial problems we talked about, they really start to bite.
Yeah.
When you have labor that's not being used efficiently, any delays caused by, the poor planning, the miscommunication, it just amplifies everything.
Like adding fuel to the fire of inefficiency. And speaking of things that can really slow things down, culprit number 4 is a big one, especially in our tech-driven world.
Yeah.
Ineffective use of technology. Remember the days of dial-up internet?
Oh, painfully slow.
The worst. Well, construction companies that are slow to adopt things like construction management software, CMS for short, are basically putting themselves in that same slow lane. They're missing out on a massive opportunity to boost efficiency.
It's like they're trying to, build a skyscraper with just a hammer and chisel when they've got a whole fleet of cranes just sitting idle. The article makes it clear that embracing those digital tools, it's not really optional anymore. It's essential for staying competitive these days.
It's like trying to run a marathon with, lead shoes on. Okay, last but not least, we have unfinished designs and scope changes. Imagine this. You're baking a cake, right? And halfway through, you suddenly decide, you know what? I want pie instead. Talk about chaos in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, I can see that ending well.
That's what happens on a construction project when those design changes pop up midstream. And look, I'm all for a bit of creative freedom, but the article really highlights how these last-minute curveballs, they can just throw the whole project timeline out of whack.
Yeah, it all boils down to managing expectations, having those clear communication channels. A small change, like in materials or layout, might seem insignificant at first, but it can trigger this whole cascade of adjustments that impacts, timelines, budgets, even the relationships between everyone involved.
It's like trying to, change a tire on a moving car, possible maybe, but incredibly risky. So we've got this whole rogues gallery of construction chaos going on. But what's the solution? Well, the article points to a potential hero. Construction management software, or CMS for short.
Right, and for good reason. If you think about those challenges we've talked about, the communication breakdowns, the scheduling nightmares, those resource black holes, CMS, it really emerges as this, comprehensive platform that can bring some order to all that chaos.
It's like swapping out that old rusty toolbox for, I don't know, a state-of-the-art workshop. The article really dives into those benefits of CMS, and let me tell you, it's pretty impressive. First up, improved communication and collaboration. Picture this. A single hub where everyone on that project team, architects, contractors, subcontractors, even the client, they can all communicate seamlessly in real time.
Exactly, and that addresses one of those core issues we discussed, information silos. With CMS, everyone has access to the most up-to-date plans, documents, progress reports. It's about transparency and accountability, which are, crucial for building trust and keeping things on track.
No more lost emails or frantic phone calls, right? And speaking of staying organized, CMS also offers centralized documentation. Remember those mountains of blueprints we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, with CMS, all those documents, plans, permits, contracts, you name it, are stored securely in the cloud, accessible to the right people at the right time.
And it's not just about convenience. It's about mitigating risk, right? When everyone is working from, the same set of information, there's less room for errors, disputes, and those, dreaded cost overruns.
It's like having a single source of truth for the whole project. Now let's talk about efficient resource management. Imagine having a real-time inventory of materials, equipment, even labor, all at your fingertips. No more guesstimating or scrambling for supplies at the last minute.
That feature alone can be a game changer for these companies. By optimizing that resource allocation, minimizing waste, the CMS can have a huge impact on a project's bottom line. It's all about making sure you have the right resources in the right place at the right time, which, as we've seen, can be a major challenge in, the traditional way of doing things.
It's like having, I don't know, a personal project assistant. Just keeping tabs on everything, making sure you're not wasting precious time or money. The article also highlights real-time progress tracking as a major advantage of CMS. Instead of relying on outdated reports or gut feelings, project managers can get an accurate, up-to-the-minute view of what's happening on the ground.
Exactly, and that's where those data-driven insights become so valuable. By tracking those key performance indicators in real time, project managers can identify potential bottlenecks, anticipate delays, really make informed decisions to keep things on schedule.
No more flying blind. Now, automated reporting and analytics. I know it might sound a bit technical, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful tools that CMS offers. Think of it like having this whole team of analysts just crunching numbers, generating insightful reports, all without you lifting a finger.
This is where construction companies can unlock a wealth of knowledge, really. By analyzing data from past projects, they can identify patterns, optimize processes, make those data-driven decisions that improve future outcomes. It's about turning hindsight into foresight.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. And it's clear that CMS isn't just some fancy tech fad. It's truly transforming the construction industry from the ground up. And one platform that's leading this revolution is Steer.
Yeah, and what's so exciting about Steer is that it really does embody the best of what CMS has to offer, all within, this user-friendly platform that's designed specifically for the construction industry. It's like they took all those pain points we've been discussing and said, we've got a solution for that.
It's like they really cracked the code, right? So let's dive into some of Steer's standout features. One that really caught my eye is their progress and procurement tracking. Imagine having this crystal clear dashboard that shows you exactly where every dollar is going, how each stage of the project is progressing.
Yeah, it's all about taking the guesswork out of it. With Steer, you can track, everything, labor costs, overall project milestones.
Yeah.
It's about having that real-time visibility into your budget and schedule, which, as we've said, is so crucial for controlling those costs, ensuring profitability.
No more financial surprises hiding in a stack of receipts, right? And because, communication is key, Steer also offers this centralized communication hub. It's like having a direct line between the field and the office, making sure everyone stays in the loop.
It's about streamlining everything, that communication, the collaboration. Project managers can easily share updates, assign tasks, address any issues in real time, and it really helps reduce those risks of, misunderstandings and those frustrating delays.
It's like having I don't know, like a virtual war room where everyone's on the same page. Now get this, Steer doesn't just track data. It actually helps you make sense of it all with its real-time insights and custom reports feature. Imagine having like a team of data analysts at your beck and call, crunching numbers, presenting you with like really actionable insights.
That's where the true power of data comes in. By analyzing that project data, Steer can identify trends, highlight any potential risks, even suggest areas for improvement. It's using data to make, those really informed decisions that drive better outcomes.
It's like having, I don't know, like a crystal ball for your construction project, but instead of vague predictions, you're getting that concrete data. And finally, no more drowning in paperwork, right? Steer has this daily logs and comprehensive documentation feature. They've created a system where every detail, every single decision, every change is like meticulously documented and easily accessible.
It's about creating this culture of accountability, transparency. With those detailed records, there's a clear record of every step in that project lifecycle. And that's essential for, if you need to resolve disputes, analyze past performance, make any improvements for those future projects.
It's like having a digital paper trail, right? Nothing gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of construction inefficiencies, it's clear that technology like Steer isn't just like a luxury anymore. It's really becoming the industry standard.
It really makes you wonder, how will these technologies continue to evolve? How will they shape the future of construction? What new innovations are we going to see that, in the next decade? But one thing's for sure, embracing technology, leveraging that data, it's going to be critical for any construction company that wants to, really thrive in this era of efficiency.
It's a pretty exciting time to be, building the future. Literally. Well, that's it for this deep dive. We hope you've gained some valuable insights into, the challenges and opportunities in the world of construction. Until next time, happy building.
Technonauts is available on Spotify and YouTube. For more information, visit Technonauts on Facebook.